Hopefully my mic is on. Hopefully my mic is on. All right. Mary Starkey, what's going on, ma'am? How you doing? Oh, we got Trista in here. I knew you was gonna come, Trista. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me already? Coochie, what's happening? Can y'all hear me? I got my mic set up. I can't. Okay. Okay. All right, let me finish setting stuff up. I had to fix my thumbnail. I just dropped a hell of a video. All right, we got everything rolling up here. Give me 1 second. I got to set up all my screens so I can make sure wherever you guys are watching me from, everything's working correctly. Give me 1 second. I got to set up all my screens so I can make. Sorry about that. All right, let me cut this volume down. Okay. Mary Starkey say, okay. You knew Mary? I don't remember that name. Sister, you got your you got your cereal and all that stuff ready for your Saturday morning dose of cartoons, or how you call it? Renita Williams, what's going on? Oh, we got Rashida Ali in the house. DC, stand up. I see you. Oh, a few weeks ago you joined me. Okay, okay. Well, welcome. I hope you're getting your money's worth. You know, guys, I was slipping this week. I'm supposed to be in Vegas for my meet and greet, my YouTube meet and greet on July 26th through the 30th. I got to set it up. Winnie, Arkansas in the building. What's up? And I ain't even been announcing it. Mess around, go to the meet and greet, be like nobody there. You're looking crazy. I can't even send you no pictures. Hey guys, are you guys in here that are in here for the first time or regulars? Make sure you hit the thumbs up button so we can spread this video out. All right, let me stand up and straighten up a lot of this stuff. I got these lights all over the place. For some reason, when I'm filming live, the lighting looks funny. And then when I watch it on there, it's back to like, see, it looks good now. Julie Altman, what's going on? Steve, how do you take your members? Say it again. Steve, how do you? Oh, Poochie, you're a member. I just seen that. How do your channel members take advantage of the perks of being a member? Well, did you see the perks in there? Depending on what you sign up for, you can have access to me personally, like by phone. Like if you have stories or something you want to talk about or something like that, like I make myself available. That's one of the perks. The other perks, I got to go back and look because when I did them, I only had a certain amount of time to do them. And I had to, some of the perks had to stay on there because I'm going to change the whole thing. I was going to do something totally different. But what you just seeing it? I'm a full member. Yeah, I just seen it now. I don't get alerts for that. And that's the thing. Like some of the stuff on YouTube, right? That they offer to you, you know, as a content creator, you got to go back and look. Like, I didn't know. I just, like, I'm on the Amazon affiliate thing. I forgot all about it. I get so wrapped up in these stories, right? Man, I got like $8,000 in money over there. I didn't even know. I'm like, yo, I got G's over here. Like, it's crazy. Like, they don't give you alerts. And I'm like, they're going to have some kind of convention. I think they have it every year for YouTube content creators. And I'm going to find out where it's at. I'm going to go down there and be like, look, yo, this is not working for me. Last month, I lost like $5,000 off YouTube because they was messing my monetary. They were messing up the money. You know, I don't know, man. Where they have to review, it only take a couple of days. They say it could take a week. I had 4 weeks of videos that was not reviewed. And they wasn't getting shown because when my videos don't get a good rating, like off the rip, if the algorithm doesn't pick them up as quality videos, which they all turn green anyway, people don't see them. So people are sending me stuff right now like, hey, do this story. I'm like, I did that already. But yeah, Tony Taste, what's up? Maryland in the building. Pecan Brown, Philly. You're an Eagles fan, Pecan Brown? I am. I'm excited to see what they're going to do. What you say, Poochie? You see the star by my name? Yeah, I see the star by your name. That's when I look, I was like, okay, wait, oh, okay, I see the star. All right. Okay, listen, I'm gonna look it up tonight and I'm gonna see what it is and I'll contact you. Do me a favor, contact me by my email that's in the description box of all my videos. You know the email I used to have. I used to put it up there. I don't do it up there. It's like an infomercial. I stopped it. But yeah, just hit me up and I'll explain the perks to you. It's no problem. You know I'm accessible. Carolina Rain guy, what's happening? Yeah, Poochie, I'll take you. Don't worry about it. But yeah, guys, listen. It's 5 after. I'm going to jump into this. I need one more thumbs up. We had 14. I need one more thumbs up so I can start this thing moving. The boat is about to leave the dock. A lot of my members aren't in here right now because I dropped that video. I don't know if you guys were taking a look at it, but I just dropped the video about some serious information that's just been dropped about the motive of why, what's his name, Rashad Trice wound up killing 2-year-old Winter Smith. I put it all together. When you see it, you're going to be like, yo. So that video is out. But like after we get done with this, you can just go and see. I mean, I just dropped it, so it ain't going nowhere. But I mean, it's a good video. You got to take, I mean, I went through it like I do that Tyree Nichols video. I went through the whole thing, scenario, his age, what he's thinking, the whole rundown. It ain't hard to tell. This whole thing was stupid. All right, I asked for 15 thumbs up. We got 21. All right, listen, guys, we're going to start these stories, all right? I'm going to tell you 2 stories. What's going on, Rhonda? I'm going to tell you 2 stories about my granddad, because y'all be coming here to hear my granddad stories, right? I'm going to tell you them 2, second and third. The first story I'm going to tell y'all, and I had forgot all about this. It's a dating app story. Y'all like these dating app stories. You know, I tell y'all to stay off these dating apps. I mean, it's messed up. It's hard to find people when you stay in the house. Like me, I'm a homebody. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to find people when you in that type of situation of meeting people. So check it out. This is when I was in Jersey before I even came out here. I was in my early 30s, right before I came to Houston when I was out in Camden. So I'm on a dating app, right? And the dating app, I can't remember what it was. It was a regular dating app. And somebody contacts me. In fact, I'll tell you what it was. It was MySpace. MySpace wasn't even a dating app. I had a MySpace account, and I set the whole MySpace account up with dancing icons and all kind of, you know how people personalize their page. And somebody contacted me, and like people was like dating people off of it. It's like the first real dating site was like MySpace. You know what I'm saying? So I meet this chick, right? And all of a sudden, she contacts me, and she's like, yo, she's talking to me. Now I look at her page, and her page is kind of dark, like almost gothic. Like, I'm like, what is this? So I asked her, I was like, yo, you black? You know, because this is when they used to have a messenger where you message people and stuff, and they do the emojis. So we going through this for like days. So I had to ask her, was she black? Like, yo, what's up with your page? And she's like, yeah, I'm black, silly. So we talking 11. I'm like, okay, maybe she has weird particular interests. Yeah, okay. I'm like, where you live? She's like, oh, I live in Willingboro, New Jersey. I'm like, okay, Willingboro. Now, at the time, I don't know how Willingboro is now. Willingboro used to be people with money up in Willingboro. It was like well established as a nice place, right? So I'm like, I'm in Camden. She's like, okay. So she's like, yeah, I got my own spot and all this other stuff. Now, granted, remember, guys, this is when I first got out of prison. So I'm still getting institutionalized and stuff. Like I told you the story last week with the panda party and crazy. This falls along the line of that. So all of a sudden, right, we agree to meet. So I ain't got no car. I catch the bus out there. Straight bum mode. I mean, look, it is what it is. I ain't have it. So I'm like, yo, I'll meet you out there. So I meet her out there, and she pulls up in a regular car or whatever. So she wants to meet at a public place. Scorpio lady, what's happening? So I'm not thinking nothing of it, right? So when I see her, one of the things I forgot to add to you guys, when I see that, when I'm talking to this girl, she will not show me what she looks like. So I'm like, describe yourself. And then this is weird. I don't mess with nobody unless I know what they look like, you know, because this is around the time when people was getting tricked, you know what I'm saying, and catfished a lot. So I'm like, what you say? You can't hear me? My sound is going out. Okay, let me move the mic up. Okay, I'm moving too fast. Sometimes when I talk too fast, it can't pick it up. So anyway, I meet this girl, right? All of a sudden, I'm in awe, and I don't mean to be. This sounds stupid, but I mean, in my life, I've met a lot of like drop dead attractive women. This women, remember I said a while ago, like you'll meet women that, you know, as a guy, you'll meet a woman that's so pretty that it'll stop time, you'll be frozen. I told you a story about where I met one girl. This is the third girl I ever met that was like that. This girl looked like Blue Cantrell, but better, like with sharper features. She was originally from New Orleans. She was high yellow. I don't know why I keep getting these high yellow girls. She was high yellow, and she had blue, stark blue eyes. She looked just like Blue Cantrell. And I was like, guys know when something's out of their league. This woman was way attracted the way my self-esteem was like, ain't no way she would want me. But anyway, she liked my attitude. I was funny, you know how it is. So I'm meeting this chick and I see her. I'm like, well, damn, that's why you was hiding. You know, I ain't say this to her, but in my head, I'm like, yo, that's why she was hiding how she looked. Because a lot of times beauty can be a curse and it can be a blessing. A lot of times when a woman is really attractive, a guy play a certain role just to get close to her. So I was like, okay, this is probably why she did it. That wasn't the reason why, and I'll explain reason why that wasn't the reason later on. So anyway, I meet her. We go out. We eat. We ate seafood. We go eat seafood and stuff, laughing, joking, everything cool. So now it's like around 10 o'clock at night. And she like, yo, I don't want the night to end, right? And she was dressed normal. Let me add that too. She was dressed normal. So she's like, I don't want the night to end. I said, nah, neither do I. And in my head, I'm like, damn, for real? She digging your boy like that? So all of a sudden, she like, let's go to my spot. Now we in I go to see her in Willingboro, New Jersey. We leave Willingboro and we go all the way to Cherry Hill, New Jersey, which is like some time down, but it's a different area. It's a nice area, but it's different. And I'm like, why are we going down the highway this way when you live this way? Oh, no. My people live up there. I guess her parents or whatever. She was up there seeing her parents the day she decided to meet me. So we driving. Now I'm already feeling funny because I'm being driven around. You know, I am in the passenger seat. I don't be feeling that. So we drive to her house. Soon as we get to her house, I noticed, now this is the summertime, y'all. Soon as we get to the house, I noticed she got Halloween stuff up outside the house and on the windows. Remember when we was in elementary school, a lot of y'all my age. In fact, they still probably got this stuff at school where it's Halloween time and they had like the fold up cardboard pictures of the black cat raised up in the back and the ghost and the pumpkins and stuff like that. She had them in her window. And I was like, you know, she had cobwebs all over her hedges and stuff. It was just a weird thing. Like it was like Halloween and her house was like painted black. And I'm saying to myself, like, you know, it was dark when we got there. And I'm like, this is strange. And you know, those old candles where they have, they were electric candles. Like you plug the candle in, it looked like a candle, but it has like the plastic candle and it has the flame with the paper in it that does like this. And they had the fake metal. It was one of them. VL, you hit it. This chick was a witch. She was a witch. I never saw a witch, let alone a black one. She said, I swear to God, she was nice as can be. We go in the house. The house was normal, but it had this weird, funky ass smell. So I don't know she's a witch. So we in there, she like, let's go in the bedroom. We going in the bedroom. She got all of these like snakes in like jars, like a shelf. And it got like a blue light, like a ultraviolet light. And everything is glowing green. She had scorpions, all kind of weird shit, toads and stuff. And I'm like, damn, that's kind of cool. I'm not putting two and two together. You know, I'm a man. I see something that's weird and strange. I'm like all over it. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, yo, that's nice. That's a real rattlesnake. And I'm like, she like, yeah. So I ain't asking her where she got this stuff from. I just see green, it's glowing green, and I'm not really paying attention. So she turns on. He said, you scared? Yeah, well, I was so dumb, I didn't even know it was danger. It was a threat. I didn't even know it was danger or not. But my ears would have been up. Now, with me having wisdom, I'd have been like, oh, hell no. But I'm in that room with her and I'm noticing something. And I'm like, damn, I see a black cat on the floor. Right? You know, the cat just sitting there, but it's looking at the bed. I'm like, man, that's a big ass cat. And she's like, yeah, that's whistles or something. I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right. I'm like, he ain't gonna do nothing, is he? She's like, man, that cat is dead. I said, the cat is dead. She said, it's stuffed. I had it stuffed. Now I'm freaked out because the cat looked real and it's looking right at me. No matter where you at in the room, the cat. I said, why he look like he looking no matter where I'm at in the room? She said, yeah, I had his eyes altered to make him look like that. She said, go near him. She said, listen, she said, go near him and wave your hand in front of his face or touch his head. I said, what is it going to do? She said, check it out. I swear to God, yeah, taxidermy. I went over there. I got near the cat. All you heard was, Row! And the cat's tail would whip like this. That shit scared the fuck out of me. Because I was scared of cats, number one. At that time, I don't understand them. I said, what the fuck is this? I'm like, yo, why would you have that? And I jumps on the bed. She busts out laughing. But I'm really scared. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I said, I don't mess with cats, right? And the cat went on for about 30 seconds, making all these noises. I'm like, yo, when does it stop? I'm like, can you make? He said, it's on the time thing. It stopped. So the cat stopped. Now I'm on the bed. She's like, concentrate on me, concentrate on me. So I'm laying there on the bed, like on the side. Now I'm a gentleman. I'm not going to be in her house and be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? The goofy stuff. So I'm sitting there talking to her. I'm trying to be a gentleman. I ain't taking my shoes off. That's one thing. You got to be comfortable to take shoes off. Stock Market Steve ain't taking his shoes off yet. So I'm on the bed, my feet hanging off the side of the bed. In case I got to make a quick getaway because, you know, I don't go to chicks I don't know's house because of situations I've been through when dudes come in there and it's a problem. This girl is too pretty to be by herself. Now, we're sitting there. I'm looking on the side of the bed, the bed, you know, the table. And I see this thing. It's big as hell. Like this. It looked like broom, like straw from a broom. It was big as hell. It's like a tube with wire around it, but it's green. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, yo, you smoke weed? She like, no, that's sage. I said, like the spice? She was like, yeah. I said, why was it on fire? What happened? You burned it in the kitchen? I don't know nothing. I'm green. I don't know nothing. Just her. No, I burn that in the room once a month and it keep the demons and the evil spirits. I said, what the fuck is you talking about? Now I'm like, okay. I said, now listen, I'm far from home. I ain't got no ride. And where she live ain't no bus routes. And I got to go through this subdivision that I wasn't paying attention to prior to me coming in here. In case somehow, I said, you ain't gonna kill me, are you? You know, I'm laughing. She like, no. She said, okay, listen. She touches my hand. Me like a dumbass. As soon as she touches me, I don't know if she had voodoo or what. It calmed me right down. The fear went away. This is all you hear. I'm a witch. I said, a witch? She's like, I'm a Wiccan. I said, what the fuck is that? Because when she said Wiccan, I didn't know what she meant. I said, Puerto Rican? Like, because she looks Spanish. I didn't know what she said. She's like, I'm Wiccan. I said, Puerto Rican? She said, no, not Puerto Rican. I'm a Wiccan. I said, what is that? Like I'm thinking she was special needs or something. You know what I mean? Because like, this is straight out of a book. So I'm like, so what's wrong with your mind? What do you mean? She's like, no, and she points to these books. And I see the pentagram. I said, listen, what is a Wiccan? I said, ain't that the pentagram? I said, that's some devil shit, right? She said, no. She said, a Wiccan is a witch. I'm a good witch, though. I said, like the Wicked Witch of the East? Like Wizard of Oz? She was like, she's hollering. She's like, something like that. She said, but I don't put spells on people and stuff. I said, that shit is real. So we get into this conversation. You know me, I'm going to ask the questions. We get to this conversation and we talking. And I'm really enjoying the thing, right? I said, do you have to cut your hand and like bleed on like a dead bat and scratch people with a chicken foot? She was like, nah. I was like, you got to smoke cigars with the crazy Peruvian hat on and blow that shit in a circle? She was like, no, wait the fuck. I said, listen, I watch National Geographic and Discovery Channel. I know all about that shit. I don't know nothing. I'm so ignorant. Yeah, Wiccan is a religion. And I'm saying to myself, you know, she's talking, but anyway, she's digging me, right? So she's like, you gonna stay tonight? I said, well, listen. Now she's short. She's about 5'5". I'm 5'10". She's like 5'5", probably like 120 pounds. I'm saying in my head, I'm not going to drink nothing out of this house. I damn sure ain't going to eat nothing but a dead cat right there. So I'll just lay here and sleep with one eye open, you know, and then tomorrow I'll just ghost her like, I was good, but I mean, you too much for me. I'm not even thinking about getting physical with her or nothing. And that's just me. She was pretty, but it's always a hang up. So watch this. We laying there. She like it got to be like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, right? And we laughing, but like she's like nodding off. I'm like, okay, if she go to sleep, I'm a lay up on her, cause I'm like, yo, can I hold you when you sleep? I'm saying that. She like, yeah, I'm digging you, cause you know I was funny and stuff like that. So I'm like, I'm a holder. That way, if she try to get up and get crazy, when she move, I'll move. You know what I'm saying? So she lay down and she go to sleep. And when she go to sleep, right, I'm laying next to her. Now, let me explain something to y'all. I missed a detail I missed. When we got home, when we got to the house or whatever, I kept my clothes on. She went and got, you know, changed, went to the shower and all this other stuff, right? I'm in there looking at the cat, looking at me. And she go shower, whatever. I'm not gonna lie. She said she came out, she had on that black lipstick shit they be having, that golf shit. She had her hair pulled up with some chopsticks in it, like Chinese style, with the hairs hanging down and shit. Like in the Nicki Minaj video when she was being taught a keto, whatever the fuck that shit is with the stick. I was like, damn. I was in hog heaven. You know what I mean? So anyway, right? She lays in the bed. She had the bubble, had the little black silk, you know, the satin silk, whatever the thing is where y'all girls be tying it up. You know, when it like barely hangs down past you. You know what I'm talking about. Lord have mercy. Stevie O was in trouble. Lay over there. Now, I'm a gentleman. She laying, he had the Chung Lee Jones. Lay over there. Next thing you know, I'm up on her. She keeps scooting. Nevertheless, things persist, right? Everything good. I wake up in the morning, she ain't in the room. I feel like Eddie Murphy off Boomerang when he woke up and Robin Givens wasn't in the room and he grabbed the covers. Like I was like that because now I'm in a strange place. It was like I had took a roofie or something and woke up and my pants was unbuttoned. I'm like, where's she at? Get up. And as I'm getting up and putting my clothes on, she come in the room. Hey, I made you breakfast. Guess what she made, y'all? She made me 2 pancakes. She took a cup and cut the eyes out of the pancake. I cut 2 eyes in the pancakes and then took the eggs and fried them sunny side up and put them in the eyes. And made her face. She took whipped cream and did a thing. And she put a spider for the nose and some chocolate chips around the fucking bottom, like I guess like for my goatee. She made my face. I looked at that shit. I ain't really that hungry. And I'm like, yo, you're a grown-ass woman who makes faces for breakfast for men that they don't know. And I think she was just trying to be nice. And man, I liked her too. But she wound up dropping me off. I didn't let her drop me off at the house. I'm like, drop me off at the Home Depot, you know, over there. Cause it was up there near like I'm about to say this in states like y'all know what I'm talking about. In Cherry Hill is a Home Depot. I said, hey, drop me off at the Home Depot. I got to pick some things up. And my friend is coming to get me because we're working on a project for his house. I'm lying. I had my mom come get me. I said, you ain't going to never believe what happened to me. And I talked to her for a couple of times. We never really went back out, but I think we both knew the vibe was off. Like, you know, it was weird. It was weird. The way the house smelled. Then she had the damn sage burning for demons. And it was like Dungeons and Dragons. It was crazy. It was too much. But I mean, she was a nice person. I just wasn't right for me. And I was disappointed. I mean, damn, I mean, I hit it, but I mean, it wasn't worth it. I mean, damn. You know what I mean? I'm trying to hit and keep, you know what I mean? But anyway, that's the first story. And that's the wildest. I mean, it was wild from, you know, an aspect of something new. But I mean, it's nothing. It's not bad. It's not a bad thing with her. But that's the first story. Now these them granddad stories y'all be wanting. This story we gonna call a hurricane. Now this is the second story. It's called the hurricane. I did some research and I forgot the damn date. But in Jersey, some of y'all that's in Philly, y'all know this too, and y'all can chime in the comments. Remember Hurricane Gloria when it hit New Jersey? Jersey don't get stuff like that. Now I'm out here, we get hurricane season all the time, and nothing usually happens because it don't go here. It don't come to Houston. It usually go to Miami. Once in a while, we'll get something. But in Jersey, they had this thing called Hurricane Gloria. It was a hurricane called Gloria, right? It was like 1983, so I was like, what, 10, 11 years old, right? Check this out. Siobhan X, what's happening? The hurricane comes. I'm just happy I get out of school. I don't know. I'm a 10-year-old kid. I don't know how dangerous a hurricane is. I'm thinking, you know, you see the big cloud circle on the thing, and I'm like, oh man, the wind's gonna blow and we're gonna fly around. I'm so stupid. I don't know nothing. You know, kids don't know nothing. I'm like, the wind gonna be blowing. I'm just happy we ain't got school. Now I can't remember what day this was, but the hurricane came and it lasted days. Like it was just a lot of wind and rain. Now, when the hurricane came, I don't know if it stopped over New Jersey or whatever, but I mean, it was flooding like crazy. So we in the house and the power's going on off and power's coming on, but like, it's like barely, it's blinking. It's not like going out. So I'm in the house and before it's like a couple, 1 or 2 days into it, stuff just turned bad. Now, my mother lived down the street. Remember, I was raised by my grandparents. My mother and brothers lived down the street, the second to last house on the end. All of a sudden, something happens and they do this alert like, yo, stay in the house. It's going to be bad. My grandfather, John Wash, he tells my grandmom, Bunny, call Joanne, that's my mom, and the kids. Tell them all to come down here. Call Thomas. That was my gay uncle, right? Call Thomas. Have them all come over here. Bring them all over here. We got to have a family meeting. He ain't never said that. I'm like, family meeting. I'm a little kid. I'm like, family meeting. I'm playing with my brother. Like, what is this? So I'm like, can we be in there? Because, you know, grown-ups talking, kids don't be there. So they like, no, all of y'all going to be there. So I'm like, I'm thinking we done got rank. So everybody comes up the house in like an hour. He like, hurry up. Now I'm starting to get scared because he's getting scared. And you remember, my grandfather is like the man in the house. Like I follow after him. So my grandma, she always scary. Anything make her scared. She she always doing that ooh shit. That ooh. So when she do that, I don't. But when he starts stressing, we know something's going on. Check it out. Everybody gets to the house, right? Raining, everybody's coming in the house, raining and stuff. And they like, Dad, what's going on? We all sit down. We got to sit in there inside, all the kids. He's like, listen, I called this meeting. You can see it's bad out there. He pulled the Bible out. Remember I said he was Jehovah's Witness. This might be Armageddon, the end of all things. This might be when Jehovah was talking about when the rapture comes, it'll come under darkness. They're saying it's getting bad and all. And he's saying all this stuff, and I'm like, because they used to be like, the world's going to end. Like they used to threaten me when I do something bad, like Jehovah going to get you. The world going to end. You're going to go to hell. So now I'm scared. I'm starting to think like, oh, I was cussing when I was playing the game. Oh, do I pray? Now I'm shook. This John Wash. I want all of you to pray here, sit here. We're going to pray and we're going to stay here together as a family. If anything happens, we'll go through it as a family. He ain't never did that. And I'm scared now. I'm like, oh shit. So I don't know. Let me describe what's going on. Outside, the sky is like white, almost like snow, because there's so much rain and wind and, cloudiness. but the sky is white. When you're in a hurricane, it's weird. The weather's weird. So the sky is white. So none of us can go by the window. John Wash is standing guard. Everybody don't go near the window, sit in the middle of the house and all this other stuff. Now, he's from Florida, so he's been through these before. So now he's talking about hurricanes, and he's an expert on the hurricanes and what a class 2, a class 3, a class 4, or whatever, right? So we're sitting there. Now, I don't know, some of y'all, like I said, some of y'all are my age. Remember when, this is how my grandfather, our front yard looked. We used to have that wrought iron furniture where you would take the pads, it would be like wrought iron slats, like the bench, it would be painted white. And it would have the, the pads, you would have to tie the pads to it, like the stuff you sit on, and you would tie it in a certain way to make it sit. We had that. And we had the ones where they was real big and like they swiveled. So like when you go to pick it up, it's like two people had to pick it up, it's heavy. And we had like the straight bench, the wrought iron bench, right? It was painted white. You sit on it. We sitting in the house playing, everything cool. The wind pick up. You start seeing shit flying down the street, like pieces of trees flying. The windows moving. Oh, we like, oh man, look at this. We kids, we don't know. My granddad constantly telling us to shut up. The lights go out. When the lights went out permanently, now my brother goes off. Now I'm scared. I don't know what's happening. I ain't crying. I'm old. I'm looking at for leadership. Any man to do, you know what I'm saying? John Watts, do something. Before he could say something, one of those pieces of furniture got blew against the storm door, and it bust the bottom of the storm door, because we had the front door open, the storm door was there. It busted the bottom of the storm, and all the wind started coming in the house. All my grandma's knickknacks started falling. All you heard was my granddad. He was like, he looked, he was like facing this way. He was like, he turned his head. He was like, Bunny, kids, I'm going to tell you one time, get your ass in the basement. It's a class 5. And he turned around like this. He said, get out of the basement, close the damn door. And he's braving the elements. The wind is blowing. As they bust the thing, it must have been lifting up and it broke. We had like the kind of storm door where like it was a storm door bottom. Then it had the glass slats up top where you could turn it and the slats come up. It had a screen in it. It bust that bottom frame and all the glass is broke. It's a bunch of hysteria. People are screaming. Bunny, his wife, oh my God, oh, get in the damn basement. When he screamed, everybody moved. So now we all in the basement. He's up there. He locks the door. Stay down here. I'll come get you. All you hear is my grandma. Johnny, stop being stupid. Come down here. Shut up, buddy. You can hear him running back and forth upstairs. And you can hear the wind and stuff. And you hear him running back and forth. And he's yelling like there are people in the house. And I'm like, what is he talking to? Who is he talking to? This goes on for about 30 minutes. Back and forth, right? All of a sudden, he unlocks the door. He said, hello? He kept saying hello. And then he unlocked the door, and then he never said nothing else. So now we think something happened because we hear this big boom. Boom, 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 right? My grandma, I'm like, I'm going up there. So I go up there. She grabbed me. Come down here. My Uncle Thomas is a grown-ass man in his 30s, but he's gay. He's such a coward. Stevie, what are you doing? Whatever's up there, it'll get you too. Why can't you be smart and stay down here? You're always running into danger. I said, Dad is up there. Why you acting like I'm crying? I'm a little kid. But, Thomas was the youngest, but he was a man, probably 20-something, but like me, 10 years old. To him, I'm yelling at him because I don't take orders from him. You know what I'm saying? Plus my granddad used to bash me for being gay, so I don't take no orders from him. So I'm like, what you talking about? Dad is up there. I'm going up there. They're like, Stevie, stay there. He's like, if you go up there, I'm going to punch your face. Yeah. So friendly. He's like, I'm going to punch your face. I'm like, you ain't going to hit nothing. So we going back and forth, right? All of a sudden, the door cracks open. And it's like, all the wind done died down now. It's a slow squeak. Everybody stops. We looking. We don't hear nothing. Remember, he was like, hello, hello. And then we heard this banging. We don't know what people busting the house, killing. You know, people just think crazy stuff. So we all start going up the steps slowly. I was the third one. Thomas was last. I'll pick up the rear. I bet you fucking will. So we're going up there. So Joanne go first. That's my mom. Even though we was raised like brother and sister, that's my mom. I'm not gonna let nothing happen to her. So she go, I go with her. She grabbed my arm. We go together. So Bunny go through first, then me and Joanne go through second. Man, we go upstairs. Man, guess what? All the banging and stuff was. My granddad. I don't know if he had a Vietnam flashback or not. Listen to this, y'all. He flipped all of the furniture upside down and made a little fort in the cave. Remember the mop wringer, the plastic mop wringer? Remember, it was a metal one a long time ago. It was a metal mop wringer where you could squeeze the mop, and then it had that weird metal, like a you know, when you used to do the washboard, that weird metal. It had a basin on it with wheels. I don't know where we got it from, but it was industrial. Like it wasn't something you would have in the house, but we had that. It was in the back porch where my granddad was at. Yo, he put the mop wringer and the bucket thing in front of the part where he could peek out between the couches on the ground. Remember the old mops where you would push the handle down and it would close like this and squeeze the sponge? He had that in his hand, and he had a little ass, it was like a little tiny bucket. You know them kind of buckets like when people be old and they had them portable toilets where they could sit on it. It was like a little bucket that you take in and out. My great-great-grandmom had one of them, but she never used it, and we just had it in the house. She died before we could give it to her. He had that bucket on top of his head where he done bust 2 holes in it, and he took some string and tied it to his face like a helmet, and he had the thing like this, and he was guarding the fucking house as if somebody was going to come in there. We came upstairs, he didn't even see us. He was on the ground like the army man laying down with the thing. All you heard was Joanne bust out laughing. Bunny, what are you doing, Johnny? You look stupid. Get up. I told you to keep your damn ass downstairs. He takes the shit off his head. He stands up. He's sweaty as hell and wet. I'm looking at his clothes. He got the dress socks on with no shoes or nothing. The carpet is soaked. I'm like, why you didn't just close and try to block the damn window? Why was you in there like that? Let me tell you something. All of y'all are stupid. You all went down the damn thing and hid. You told us to go down there. All you heard was, shut up, Thomas. You supposed to be a man. A damn disgrace. You was the first one down the damn steps to hit the bottom. I was like, oh shit, he started ripping us. I'm like, yo, we did what you said. So me, I'm a little kid, it don't matter. My brother is crying the whole time. Shut that kid up. Shut that kid up like it's not even his grandson. He's snapping on people. John Wash snapping. So anyway, right? After it's over, you know, we look back at it and we laughed and stuff. And like, you know, when my grandfather was mad and angry and stuff, you could never question him at that time. You have to wait till like some time passed where he's in a better mood, and then you could ask him questions. He was a loose cannon. I mean, not a threat to us, but like, you know, he was just nuts like that sometimes. And I asked him one day, I said, Dad, I said, why you was in there like that? He said, when I was in Florida, looters would run in the house and steal your stuff if your door got blew, and like people would go in there and just violate people. And he was like, I was thinking about that. I'm not letting that happen to my family. I can't hate on that. His experience give his actions, so I can't knock that out. But that was some funny ass shit. I ain't never seen nobody do that. He was the army man on the ground looking at the door, and I'm like, what the? I never seen it. Yo, war must do something bad to you. War must do. Yeah, the bucket was a bedside commode. War does something to you. So anybody that's in war, man, I can't say nothing about nothing they do because you don't know that PTSD that they give you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he went in on Thomas. Hard. Should be a man. A man. Speaking of Thomas, remember I told y'all that story where, you know, he was at a picnic and all his friends was there, and Thomas was a little kid. He was acting gay or whatever, feminine. And he stuck his toe in the water, was like, oh, it's cold. My granddad grabbed him and flung him out there with the sink and swim dynamic, and he went to the bottom. I asked my granddad about that. What was it? I think it was last year because we were just on the phone laughing and talking. We was talking about old times. And I asked him, he said he should have been a man. I asked him, I said, why did you do that? Did you really do that? He said, yeah. Guess what my grandfather said? My grandfather's a lunatic. He said, Stevie, at that time, I was so mad at him because I was trying my best to make him the best man I could. And he wasn't responding to the treatment. When he said the treatment, like he was in a mental institution or something. He said, I tried everything. He said, but that damn bunny would always interfere. You don't want your son to be a fairy. Jesus Christ. I said, okay, I'm listening to him, right? And this all you hear. I said, well, what was you thinking? I said, you knew he couldn't swim. And you know, people can't swim. Why you throw him in the thing? Now I got my son in the car listening to my granddad talk, right? On the speakerphone. He don't know this. He said, the way I looked at it was this. I threw him in the water. As soon as I threw him in the water, you say, if he's a child of Jehovah, he'll come up to the top and swim. If he don't, he dies. I said, what? Yo, I can't believe he said that. Yo, for the longest time, me and my son was running around saying that statement. You're a child of Jehovah, live. If you sink, you die. I was like, I've never heard no shit like that. Yo, older people, man, in Vietnam vets, they built differently. For real. But yeah, it was the truth. From ages 8, I'm gonna say up to 16. You know, when you're a little kid, you don't see stuff. When you get older, from 8 to 16, that 8 years, it was kind of touch and go with him because you never knew when he was gonna snap and attack somebody. I mean, I've seen my grandfather in situations where he should not have won or fought or kept his mouth shut or tried to resolve conflict, and he would fire off immediately and win. He'd win these battles. I'm like, yo, you're too old to be fighting. You got on church shoes and dress socks. How are you standing toe to toe with people 3 times your size? I'm gonna tell you this last story. We're gonna get out of here. I ain't gonna hold y'all. It's a Friday night. Listen to this story. And this story right here is funny, but it was scary to me. Across the street, directly across the street, 1, 2, 3 houses down, there was some childhood friends of my brother. They was his age. It was a house full of kids, and the lady name was Miss Sheila. She was pretty lady, and her husband, I think they say husband, I don't know if he was her husband, was named Mr. Gene. Mr. Eugene, we used to call him Mr. Gene. Now, Mr. Gene went to jail. We ain't never seen Mr. Gene. We only seen the kids and Miss Sheila for a long time. And all of a sudden, this dude pop up. He got an afro like the 70s. And when I say this motherfucker's built, this dude looked like Ravishing Rick Rude. Remember how Ravishing Rick Rude had that slim, he had slender legs, but he had that prison build, the big cap shoulders. I never saw that. You know, as a little kid, you see muscle men only in magazines or on wrestling on TV. To see this guy up close, the whole neighborhood was like, yo, who is that? So he would walk around with his shirt off, but he was fresh out of prison. See how that go? Like, so he was still institutionalized, but he was real cool. So he would come and be like, yo, what's up, Mr. Gene? What's up? He like, yo, what's up? We'd be out there playing, 3-on-3, 4-on-4 football up and down the street. He'd come out there and play quarterback with his shirt off. Everybody like, yo, we want Mr. Gene on our team. Little kids they be hyped. And, he was positive. He was talking and saying, man, we love Mr. Gene. Mr. Gene was cool, but Mr. Gene had one flaw. Mr. Gene used to beat his wife. And when I say beat his wife, he would beat his wife. She would be screaming. I never saw it, but I heard it. Like, I seen it, like her face would be black, her eyes would be black. And he would just be standing in the door sometimes. So I don't know what that was about. It's none of my business. But I mean, the way he looked in his waist, the way he looked, if he punched a normal person, he would kill him. So he had that aura on him, like, he was a scary dude, but he was just nice. One day, I'm in the house. I'll never forget it. It's a Friday night. I'm in the house, and it has to be around August because, like, the Eagles were playing preseason. I watch preseason now. Like, I'm a diehard Eagle fan. So I'm in the house and I'm sitting there. We had the big TV, the floor model where you just sit there and watch TV. I'm sitting there. I got my Kool-Aid, my snacks, all the typical stuff. And I'm sitting there. And I don't know how my grandfather heard this, but in the summertime, kids are playing outside. You can hear girls jumping rope, people going back and forth. My grandmother is sitting on the porch. She's just sitting out there. My grandfather's in the back of the house, right? That's right, Eagles, baby. I don't know what happened. All I know is my grandfather walked by me real quick, never said anything. He walked by me. I never even looked at him. From the back of the house, he walks past me. He goes right out the front door. When he goes right out the front door, I hear him say, "Hey, what's the problem?" And next thing I hear like the chain link fence, like somebody shaking the chain link fence. And I hear my mom, "Stevie, they fighting. Stevie, come get him." She always used to do that. My granddad would get in some shit. She'd come get me, man. I'm like an 80-pound boy at like 16 years old. I mean, what do you want me to do? In fact, I was 13 when this happened. So I was smaller than that. I was always skinny my whole life. I'm like, what you want me to do? I opened the door. I'm thinking, because my grandfather had this thing where he would tell kids, don't sit on my car. And they would get smart with him. He'd go out there and be like, what? You can go get your dad. And, he'd get wrecked with him. So I'm thinking it's one of them where a kid got slick, like a teenage boy. Because my grandfather was like this. A little kid, he'd be like, go get your parents. A teenage boy, he'd smack the shit out of him like a grown man. He was just weird like that. So I'm thinking he getting into it with a grown ass, a teenage boy. I come out the house. Guess who he fighting, y'all? He fighting Mr. Gene. And not only is he fighting Mr. Gene, he done knocked Mr. Gene on the ground. When I hear the gate clash and I get up, when I first look, I see Mr. Gene on the ground outside the gate. My granddad grabs him by the throat and the afro and pulls him in the yard. This big dude, my granddad ain't nothing but 5'7", with a dad bod. Boom, he bring him in the room. And the thing, he's on top of him. He's choking him. Mr. Gene is choking him, but he's choking him from the bottom. So now they're choking each other, right? I run out there. I run up to the front. My grandma like, oh my God, I'm calling the cops. Call the cops, please. She's running. Somebody call the police. The whole neighborhood is out there. The kids is like, yo, we ghetto kids. Yo, John Watts beating the shit out of Mr. Gene. Get him. Fuck him up. Fuck that nigga. Dude, kids in the hood, ignorant. But they're fighting and they're staring. They're locked stare at each other and they're not moving. He's choking my granddad, and my granddad's choking him. As I'm standing, I'm walking up slow, like, dad, and I'm like, damn, Mr. Gene is cool. Why you gotta fight him? I'm blaming my father, like, why you gotta fight him? Because I didn't know what it was about. Why you gotta fight him? My granddad did just like this. He looked up, he raised his eyes like this. He had veins all in his head. His eyes was turning red, but they was already red. But you could see he was choking him, and they both was about to pass out. So it's like a contest to see who could choke out first. I've never seen nothing like this, guys. My grandfather did just like this. He looked at me, and then he looked back down. He coughed one time. He said, Stevie, I want you to go upstairs in my closet. He said, look to the left. There's a shotgun. He said, there are 2 shells right next to it. You get them shells, you put them in the bottom. You put them in the bottom, there's a switch near the trigger. You hold that switch, you cock back the thing, like because we used to watch Adam 12 and stuff when they had the shotgun and they do. He said, just like Adam 12, but the life is coming out of him. And the life is coming out of Mr. Gene. So he's like, you lock and load that gun. He said, you bring it down here, you put it on his forehead. You shoot, you pull that trigger while I'm holding him. He's saying this in front of this man. The guy like, Stevie, don't do that. All you heard was shut the hell up. Now they're arguing, but they're choking each other out. And he's like, Stevie, we don't have much time. Go get my shotgun. He kept saying it. So I'm like, I'm double dutching. I'm scared of my granddad. He's winning. I go to run upstairs. My grandma grabbed me. Stevie, don't do that. All you heard was shut up, bunny. If I let this, I forgot what he called him. He said, if I let him up, you see what he does to his wife. If I let him up, what do you think he'll do to you? Bunny did just like this. Now, these Jehovah's Witnesses. Hurry up, Stevie. Hurry up. For the cops get here. She's okaying me to blast this dude. I come downstairs, right? Scared to death. I come downstairs, right? When I come downstairs, I put both the shells in the shotgun and I come out the thing and my grandma says, wait, and she grabs the gun and they're standing there. And my granddad looked at us for a second. He looked at Mr. Jean. Mr. Jean's arm started sliding down. She said, let him go, Johnny. Let him go, John. And he let him go. And he just laid there. John Watts got up and sat next to him like this. They both was breathing. By the time the police came, they both made up. It was the weirdest shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is what happened. He was fighting his wife. She runs out the house. Can you please call the police, Miss Bunny? My grandma looks. He threatens my mom. You call the police, I'll come over there and beat on you. My grandfather heard that. How did he hear that? And I was in the front room right there. He flew by me. Went out there and he handled that shit. Only until I got older that I realized, I said, that was some gangster ass shit right there. Because he told me, he said, when you shoot from an angle where you don't hit my hand and let me turn my face before you do it. I'll turn my face and I'll tell you when to do it. You close your eyes and pull that trigger. That's how you know war is serious. He was real on that. I mean, he was real. Ain't nobody gonna touch my family. Me, I was like the golden goose. If anything ever happened to me, shit. It's nothing you could. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all one more story. Right? Now, that was that story. Nothing happened. When the police came, him and Mr. Jean made up. That's another thing. They had problems, but Mr. Jean admitted, hey, I was wrong. I shouldn't have did that. It's a lot I got to learn. I've been locked up. And my grandfather and him hugged and, chilled out. And they became cool after that. Sometimes, man, respect got to come through physical altercations with men. Men, we think like that. Sometimes that's why we always treat each other with respect, because there's always a risk of physical violence. That's why a lot of these young kids now are getting killed, because they don't understand that code. There's no codes and morals no more. You know what I mean? You don't walk up on somebody, I'm 50 something years old. You be like, hey, nigga, look, you 20 years old. Who you talking to? You ain't been nowhere. These kids got to learn that. And that's fact. But this last story, man, I'm going to tell you real quick. This is something real quick. I'm going to show you how crazy my granddad was about me. I was in 4th grade. I don't know how old I am in 4th grade. 4th grade. What, I'm 9? I can't remember. And this is when bikes had the mag wheels. Remember, they had the 5-star mag wheels and stuff. They were coming white, yellow. This is when that first came out. So they, before that, everything was spoke wheels. So I got this bike. It got yellow mag wheels. It got a yellow frame, a blue seat, blue tire. People used to see it black tire. So my grandfather, we had nice things. So somebody's running from the police. A 20-something-year-old man. He's a big dude. He's running from the police. I'm around the side of the house at the end of the road home, but I'm like, it was still safe to be, away from your house. And they had just put some concrete down. I remember I had Converse sneakers. If I go there right now in Jersey, and I always visit this site, it's right around the corner from my house. My little footprint, my whole footprint at that age with my Converse sneakers is still in the sidewalk there. And so is my wheel where I was just doing the concrete. And as I'm doing that, a guy comes up to me. He's running on foot, a foot police. You can hear cops coming. I don't know they're coming this way. You can hear police ride, and you can hear keys. A cop is chasing after this man. He comes around the corner. I don't see the cop. I see him. He walks up on me, and I stop, and I see these feet. And I look up. He goes, grabs the front of the bike. Now, I'm a tiny kid. He says, man, that's a nice bike. And I went to look up, and he hit me. A grown man. Bam! I flipped off the bike and everything. I was in shock, though. I mean, he hit me dead on. Like, when he hit me, I flipped off the bike, hit my head. I jump up. I just take off running. It's just an instinct, I guess, animal instinct. I take off running. Instead of running through the front door that was closer, I run through the back. He grabs my bike. I don't even look back. I run in there. I'm like, they took my bike, got it. I didn't know my face was big. They said, what happened to your face? My granddad was in the back reading the paper. My grandma, I'm like, Johnny, He jumped up. What is it? He came in there. He grabbed my face and looked at my face. He said, where is he? Couldn't find the guy. The cops was on him though. The guy got away from the police because we had called the cops, and that's when we found out the guy was, you know, we described what he had on, and you know, I was traumatized. They told us that the guy, what's his name? So the guy got away. That night, I'm gonna show you how dumb criminals are. That night, I'm sitting in the room and I'm mad because I just got that bike like 2 weeks before. I'm not worried about my face. I'm worried about the bike. You know, your family gonna give you sympathy, but I'm worried about the bike. I'm only 9, 10, I don't know, you know. And I'm looking out the window, and who do I see coming up the street on the bike? The same dude that punched me in the face and had the nerve to, we had projects behind my house. He stops at the projects and you know, he got the bike between his legs and he's just sitting there on the bike like this. I said, that's the guy. That's the guy. I run downstairs. I said, Dad, that's the guy right there. My grandfather jumps out. See, sometimes when people are loose cannons, you got to watch what you tell them. My grandfather comes out the house and he walks. And at the time he's walking, the guy's walking the bike down. And he's about 10 feet away from my granddad. Instead of my granddad like playing it off and coming out the gate and, you know, walking near him and then grabbing him, my granddad's like, hey, young fella, let me talk to you for a second. As he's doing that, I'm looking. The guy is starting to come to me like a dumbass. I bust through the door. Dad, get him. The guy looked and saw me and took off, running down the street on the bike. My granddad, oh, he can't catch him. The guy ran, then jumped on the bike and took off and gave my granddad the finger. My granddad, like, he's mad at me, but he understood. You understand what I'm saying? But he wanted that guy bad. So anyway, the guy got caught. I don't remember all this. I was a kid. Nothing. But some months had passed. So one day, like, Stevie, you ain't going to school. You got to go to court. I said, go to court for what? They said, you got to go to court. So we go to court, right? And when we go to court, my grandfather took pictures. Remember the Polaroid with the red button? He took pictures of my face, you know. So he had these pictures. And all of a sudden, we go to the court. Now, this is a long time ago. I don't know if y'all been to court back in the 80s. They used to have these long benches like church, some long pew benches. And when we got to court, the guy was arrested, got arrested, and he was in jail. And they wound up linking him to me and, you know, what he did to me. And, you know, I got to go to court. I'm a little kid. They go in there and they say, hey, you know, you got to identify this guy. I think he admitted it or something. He admitted that he punched the kid in the face, but I was the kid. So when I go in there, they're like, you ain't going to talk or nothing. You just got to go in there and stand and identify this guy. I'll never forget his face, right? Yo, when the guy came in there, me and my grandfather seen him up close. I seen, you know, from him knocking me the fuck in the face. But when the guy came in there, they brought him. I don't know why they brought him, instead of bringing him through the side in the back where the courtroom is at, they brought him right down the aisle where all the people are sitting there and people looking like, you know, because like he got on chains. You know, he had that shock. People be looking at you like crazy. My grandfather waited till he got close enough and punched this dude. He punched this dude so hard. He went off the ground sideways and hit his head on the bleacher, busted shit and everything right in the courtroom. I mean, right in the court lobby. Boom, hit his head like, you know, like the part that you sit on where the back of your legs go down, like the butt part. He hit his head on that. He was knocked out. Boom, shit blew up. I holler. Ah! I ain't never seen that. You know, it was like a horror movie. I mean, the blood running out. The cops grabbed my granddad. Bunny grabs me and leaves out. I'm looking back. I just see the cops, my granddad trying to pound on him. The cops trying to grab my granddad. They got sticks out. It's a mess. But all I remember is like he didn't come home with that. So I think he got locked up. But that next day he came home and he sat me down. He was like, hey, man, you never let nobody do nothing to your family. He was always telling me that. You know what I mean? He was like, when I saw that guy, I just remembered your face of what he did to your face. He said, next thing I know, I hit him. I was like, damn. So, you know, that was that story. And I don't know what happened to that guy and all that. But I mean, after that, I was like, damn. But that's it for the stories, guys. John Watts was crazy. He was a nut, man. He did some funny stuff, but he cared about us. You know what I mean? But anyway, I just hit the 1 hour mark. It didn't freeze up again. So I guess something's working with the internet or YouTube got better software or something. And I'm not pixelated. So as usual, guys, I will see you guys in the next video. And I do appreciate you guys spending your time with me and supporting me on this channel. Especially you, Poochie. Sue Burt's what's happening. And I ain't gonna say see you in the next video. Y'all know that. But shout out to you all for your support. I'll see you next time. Good night.